Hey, it's Renee from the Craft Table. Welcome to week 9 of our summer embroidery stitch along. We are doing the pistol stitch this week, and there's only one place in the pattern that we're going to be embroidering this particular stitch. And I think that worked out well with my schedule, even though I didn't plan it that way. My grandson is visiting this week, and I've been doing all of my videos while him and my husband have been going on morning bike rides. That way they don't have to listen to me talk to myself. Each week I tell myself that I'm going to stitch ahead so that I don't have to worry about editing videos or recording myself talking to a laptop when we have people over. But that never seems to happen. I literally am stitching along with you each week, which means that you can definitely keep up with the stitch along. The only place on this pattern that has the pistol stitch is this area right here. I did not recommend the pistol stitch for this area here, even though this is actually a pistil of a flower. And that is because I wanted these lines to be a little wonky and curvy. And you'll see when we start doing the pistol stitch that is kind of difficult to accomplish in one stitch. So here I opted to do a variety or a series of back stitches, kind of going off at an angle, and then a French knot. Getting back to the pistol stitch, the stitch itself is basically a straight stitch with a French knot at the end, but all done in one stitch. It can be accomplished by doing a series of back stitches and ending with a French knot, or doing one long straight stitch and ending with a French knot. But the pistol stitch allows you to accomplish the same thing in just one fell swoop. So we begin by bringing our needle and thread up from the back, pulling it all the way through to the front. If you skipped the video on French knots, you might want to take a look at that video first. We're going to wrap the thread around our needle 2 times, like we did when we were making French knots. 1, 2. With the French knot, if you remember, we went straight down close to where we came up, where the thread comes up at the base. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to position our needle right at the end of that line where we want the French knot to be. And you have to have a little bit of give with your thread so that the knot will go where you want it to. And then again, holding this thread taut in one hand, you'll pull your needle all the way to the back. You may think, well, why don't I just do a straight stitch ending here and then coming up and doing a French knot? And you can do that, but more than likely what would happen when you take your needle to the back to end the straight stitch and then you come up from the back to do your French knot, this thread will just pull out. So if you wanted to do it that way, what you would want to make sure you're doing is either do your straight stitch from the top to the base and then go back and do your French knot here, or when you come up to do your French knot, you want to make sure you bring your thread a little bit to the side of the end of that straight stitch. But again, all this can be accomplished by just doing the pistol stitch. So I've wrapped my needle 2 times with the thread. I've got my needle going in at the end of that straight line, holding this thread taut. I'm going to pull the thread to the back. And And there you have the pistol stitch. And I'm going to do the same thing in the other 4 areas. So this is the latest addition to our summer embroidery stitch along pattern. And this is where we are after week 9. Let me zoom in a little bit. So there we are with our pistol stitch along the top. As you can see, the pistol stitch is pretty basic. It's not a complicated stitch at all once you get the hang of it, and especially if you've mastered the French knot. So I'm curious if any of you have a favorite embroidery stitch that you've learned so far during the stitch along, or if there's one that you actually do not care for at all. My favorite changes, but at the moment it is the raised chain stitch, in case you're interested in which ones that I like and don't like very much. Thanks again for being here. I appreciate that. Always happy to know that I'm not stitching by myself. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time. Happy stitching.